Look at this beautiful picture very carefully. Well, can you see white fumes in the picture? This is because this is the picture of a heated water body. See, this is a water body which is heated and it is known as a hot spring or a geyser. They are usually formed when the groundwater gets heated up naturally. But how does the groundwater gets heated up naturally? Well, we know that the Earth's interior is quite different from its exterior appearance. The innermost part of the Earth, that is core, is actually a ball of burning rocks. So high temperature and pressure prevails within the Earth's interior, and we often get to witness this violent heat during volcanic eruptions, when hot molten magma comes up to the surface through cracks and flow as lava. This same high heat is responsible for the formation of hot springs, and this high heat can also be a good source of alternative sources of energy. So the alternative source of energy or non-conventional source of energy that can be derived from the heat energy of the Earth's interior is known as geothermal energy. Geo refers to earth and thermal refers to heat. So geothermal energy simply refers to the heat energy of the Earth's interior. Now, as we know that the Earth's interior is very hot, the average temperature of the Earth is 4500 degrees Celsius and above. This high heat often heats up the overlying rocks and the groundwater, and this is known as geothermal reservoirs. So geothermal reservoirs are the fluid or the groundwater that get heated up due to high heat of the Earth's interior. Now often a deep well is dug to tap these reservoirs, and from here the high heat is used to rotate a turbine and generate electricity. So this is how electricity is produced using the geothermal energy or the heat energy of the Earth's interior. Now geothermal energy is a renewable energy. Renewable energy means that this high heat of the Earth's interior will never get exhausted in our entire lifetime. So unlike coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc., geothermal energy is a renewable source of energy, and therefore it is often recommended to be used as a non-conventional source of energy. Now geothermal energy is widely distributed all over the world. Let's see where it is found. The largest geothermal power plants are located in USA. Apart from USA, Central American countries also produce high amount of geothermal energy. Iceland and New Zealand are also significant producers of geothermal energy in the world. Now let's know about the distribution of geothermal energy in India. Well, in India, geothermal power plants are found in Manikaran Valley of Himachal Pradesh and Puga Valley of Ladakh. Now we shall discuss about another form of non-conventional source of energy. Well, you must have heard of the nuclear bombings at Hiroshima and Nagasaki during Second World War in the year 1945. This nuclear weapon was the first one to be ever used in warfare. The bomb was quite destructive and destroyed the two cities completely and left the entire world terrified. From then onwards, attention turned towards peaceful use of nuclear energy or nuclear power, and especially as an alternative source of energy. So although nuclear weapons are quite destructive, but scientists soon realized that the high amount of energy stored in the atoms of some radioactive elements like uranium and thorium can be harnessed to produce an alternative source of energy, that is nuclear energy or nuclear power. So nuclear energy is the energy obtained from the nuclear reaction of some radioactive elements. And in order to harness this nuclear energy, dedicated nuclear power plants were set up. Now this is the picture of a nuclear reactor. In nuclear power plants, the atoms of radioactive elements undergo nuclear reaction in nuclear reactors, and then it is used to rotate a turbine to generate electricity. So this is how electricity is produced from the nuclear reaction of radioactive elements, and this energy is known as nuclear energy. It is widely used in the world, and in fact in different parts of it. Let's see where. Well, USA and France are the largest producer of nuclear energy in the world. Apart from France, Germany and Ukraine, other European countries also produce nuclear energy. This form of energy is also produced in countries like China. So, this map shows the distribution of nuclear energy in the world. Now, what about India? Well, in case of India, nuclear energy is one of the largest source of alternative energy in the country, and it has about 20 nuclear power plants. The first and the oldest one being the Tarapura power plant, which is present in Maharashtra. Apart from it, some of the important nuclear power plants present in India are Kaiga in Karnataka, Kalapakam in Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan atomic power plant located in the state, and Narora power plant located in Uttar Pradesh. So we discussed that geothermal energy and nuclear energy are the two widely used form of non-conventional energy. Now apart from this, there are two more. Let's know about them. Well, here we can see a video of a canal, and here we find that the water level gradually decreases, and soon we shall find that the bottom of the canal will become visible. After some time, we shall see that the water level, instead of decreasing, it will gradually rise up. And what will happen is that the canal will soon be filled with water. See, the water level will gradually rise up and the canal is again filled up with water. Now, here we find that there is alternate fall and rise in level of water. Do you know what is this interesting phenomena called? The maximum elevation of the water body is called high tide, and the lowest level of the water body is known as low tide, and the difference between the height of high tide and that of low tide is known as tidal range. So this height difference is known as tidal range. And tides are caused due to gravitational pull of the moon. Well, to know more about tides, you can refer to the link present at the top right corner of your screen. Now, the energy obtained from the natural rise and fall of water, that is from tides, can be used to rotate a turbine and produce electricity. So this form of energy that is derived from tides or alternate rise and fall of water is known as tidal energy, and it is a good source of non-conventional energy and also renewable energy, because such energy never gets exhausted. Now this map shows the distribution of tidal energy in the world and in our country India. Well, France is the leading producer of tidal energy, and here the first tidal power plant was set up. Apart from France, Russia is also a potential producer of tidal energy. In India, Tidal energy is produced in the Gulf of Kutch region. So this is the entire distribution of tidal energy in the world. Now before proceeding further, let us try to answer this question. It says, where was the first tidal station built? And the options given are Russia, France, India, China. So which of these options do you think is the correct one? Well, we just discussed that the world's first tidal station was built in France. So the correct option is France. Now let's move on. Well, you must have noticed that we produce a lot of waste at our household, like kitchen waste, which consists of leftover food, vegetable peels, and also sewage. Now all these waste are biodegradable in nature, which means that they can be easily decomposed by microorganisms. Now during decomposition of such waste, an important gas is produced which can be a good source of non-conventional energy. We shall now discuss how such gas is produced from organic waste. Well, cow dung waste, agricultural waste and leftover food and other forms of organic waste are mixed together along with equal amount of water, and this mixture is known as slurry. So slurry refers to a mixture of all forms of organic waste plus equal amount of water. Now this slurry is introduced in a digester. Now when the digester is almost half filled, then the introduction is stopped and the mouth of the digester is closed, and entry of oxygen is prevented. After this digester is left undisturbed for some time, say about a few months. Now during this time, anaerobic decomposition or fermentation takes place. Now what is meant by anaerobic decomposition? Well, the term anaerobic means in absence of air or oxygen. So anaerobic decomposition refers to the fermentation or decomposition of organic matter in absence of oxygen. And why I am saying absence of oxygen? Because in this case the mouth of the digester is closed and the entry of oxygen is stopped or prevented. Now after this anaerobic decomposition of organic waste, a gaseous fuel called biogas is produced. This biogas is rich in carbon dioxide and methane. So after anaerobic decomposition of organic waste, biogas is produced. Now this biogas, as I just mentioned, is a good source of non-conventional energy and it is used to produce electricity. This biogas is also widely used in rural households as cooking gas or fuel. The residue left after the production of biogas can be used as a natural manure or fertilizer in agricultural fields. So by using this residue as a fertilizer, the use of chemical fertilizers is stopped. So you see, you can attain two goals at a time. First, you are using biogas, which is a renewable energy or non-conventional source of energy, and it is a green energy because it do not produce any harmful gas. Also, it prevents use of chemical fertilizers in agricultural fields. Now let's see where in the world biogas is produced. Well, China is the leading producer of biogas in the world, and this form of energy is also produced in other countries like USA, Germany, India and Thailand. Now, biogas energy is a major source of energy in the country like India. So this map shows the distribution of biogas energy in India. Maharashtra is the leading producer of this gas. Maharashtra is followed by Andhra Pradesh. This gas is also produced in other states like Punjab, Uttarakhand, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So here we find that biogas is well distributed in the country and it has been widely accepted as a good form of renewable energy. So these are the various examples of non-conventional sources of energy. Now, non-conventional sources of energy means the ones that has not been in use since a long time because it has been recently discovered. And the world has started using these forms of energy just by itself. Now, in our previous lesson, we have already discussed that wind energy and solar energy are good forms of non-conventional sources of energy. Wind energy is derived from moving wind, which is used to rotate the windmills and produce electricity. Solar energy uses the high heat of the sun to generate electricity using solar panels. In today's lesson, we further discuss about other forms of non-conventional sources of energy like nuclear energy, which uses the high energy of radioactive elements in order to generate electricity. Geothermal energy is the form of heat energy derived from the Earth's interior. And we further discuss about tidal energy and biomass energy. Tidal energy uses the energy from the alternate rise and fall in water, which is known as tides, whereas biomass energy is the energy derived after anaerobic decomposition of organic waste. So these are the major forms of non-conventional sources of energy that must be used instead of conventional sources of energy. So now we shall try to differentiate between conventional source of energy and non-conventional source of energy. Well, conventional sources of energy, as we know, are the traditional form of energy that has been in use since a pretty long time, whereas non-conventional sources of energy are modern ones that has been recently discovered and are not much in use. Another difference is that conventional sources of energy are non-renewable in nature, whereas non-conventional sources of energy are renewable in nature. Conventional sources of energy cause pollution and are not environment friendly or eco-friendly, whereas non-conventional sources of energy are less polluting and are eco-friendly. Some examples of conventional sources of energy are coal, petroleum and natural gas, whereas non-conventional sources of energy are wind energy, solar, nuclear, geothermal, tidal and biogas. As we know, non-conventional sources of energy are non-renewable and polluting in nature. This is because non-conventional sources of energy derive their energy from coal, petroleum and natural gas, which we know are non-renewable in nature. And also, during combustion, these sources produce toxic and harmful gases which pollute the environment. In comparison to this, non-conventional sources of energy depends on wind, solar, nuclear and geothermal energy, which are renewable in nature. That is, these energy resources will never get depleted or exhausted. Also, another advantage is that these sources are less polluting because they do not produce much harmful gases when we use them. So, because of these advantages, it is recommended to use non-conventional sources of energy as much as possible and to reduce the use of conventional source of energy. So this brings us to the end of today's discussion on non-conventional sources of energy. In our previous lesson, we already discussed about two forms of non-conventional source of energy, that is wind and solar. And in today's lesson, we focused on four other types: nuclear, geothermal, tidal and biogas. So that's all about today's lesson. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at deltastep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers, or to get access to our 5,000 amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million+ questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock tests. Get all your doubt resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, but it's rewarding too. So register for free now.